Last night you went to bed after a good day. The numbers at work looked decent. The phone had enough notifications to prove you're not alone. You watched something funny, scrolled a bit, lay down, and yet as the lights went off, something inside you was still whispering, "This can't be it." It wasn't loud enough to call it pain, just a quiet ache, a restlessness that survives even the best days. You turned your head on the pillow, you changed your position, you changed your thoughts. The ache stayed. That ache is where this story begins. For years, your eye has been like a balloon in a crowded sky. First, it tied itself to exams, then to someone you loved, then to a job, then to a better phone, better clothes, better weekends. Wherever it fell in love, it began to orbit. When I clear this, when I get them, when I earn that, then I'll rest. You were never just you. You were always you plus something. You plus career, you plus partner, you plus image. And still, every time you tied yourself to something, another part of you stood aside and watched, like a quiet neighbor looking through the window, asking, "Are you sure this is home? Look closely at yourself." One part of you is very simple. It just wants food, sleep, sex, comfort, safety, recognition. It's animal, innocent, powerful. Call it the body, the surface, the storm of emotions. Another part of you doesn't want anything. It just watches. It saw your first heartbreak and also your first trophy. It saw your biggest shame and your proudest moment and didn't add or remove a single second. Call it silence, depth, the witness. And in between these two lives the ego, that floating eye that keeps trying to be fully body one day, fully silence the next, and failing at both. That failure is why you feel split. There were years you tried to be purely practical. Feelings are a distraction. Depth is a luxury. Life is about hustle, stability, success. You try to drown that ache under busyness. You stack tasks, calls, reels, meetings on top of it. But the more you denied your depth, the more nervous your comfort became. Even rest started to feel like guilt. Holidays felt like a pause between two battles, not peace. Your body got the schedule it wanted. Your ego got the story it wanted. But that quiet neighbor at the window, still watching, still not convinced. Maybe then you swung to the other side. You read about letting go, about just being, about nothing matters. You tried to live as if you were already beyond life. Work started to feel fake. Relationships started to feel heavy. You wanted to escape into some pure inner space where nobody could reach you, where nothing could touch you. But bills still existed. Your parents still existed. Your body still demanded food, sleep, touch. The world refused to disappear just because you declared it illusion. You weren't free. You were just running in a more sophisticated direction. In between these extremes came the reckless period. The time of hacks. Whenever pain got loud, you reached for the nearest fix, a new crush, a binge, a late night deep talk with someone equally lost, another self-help video playing in the background while you scrolled comments. You weren't evil. You were just trying whatever looked fast. But every quick escape turned your life a bit messy, eh? One more complicated relationship, one more financial reaction, one more promise to yourself that you broke. Your life became a tree whose branches you kept hacking when the real disease was in the roots. Imagine this. You are in a huge, beautiful movie theater. People are fighting for front row seats, better popcorn, better selfies. You're in the competition too, trying not to lose out. Then mid-fight, you smell something. Smoke. You look up and see the ceiling quietly burning, the walls cracking, the lights flickering, not because it's part of the show, but because the whole building is actually on fire. Now picture this. People are still arguing about who got the better seat. In that moment, Does it matter who won? That theater is your life when you obsess over success and failure, but never step back to ask, where am I standing? Inside the burning structure of ego, or outside looking at clearly? The reason you can't rest is not because you don't have enough comfort. It's because some part of you refuses to sleep inside a burning theater. You can keep giving your ego better seats, better jobs, better relationships, better entertainment, but the fire of unconsciousness keeps inching closer. A deeper honesty inside you knows. Until I step out, no amount of winning in here will feel safe. That honesty is your insomnia. It is the part of you that does not agree to fake rest. You've tried many versions of sleep. Physical sleep that just postpones the anxiety to the morning. Mental sleep in the form of endless distractions. Spiritual sleep in the form of pretty concepts you don't live. But there's a different kind of rest your system is secretly longing for. A quiet that doesn't depend on noise stopping. A freedom that doesn't depend on life changing first. A depth that doesn't collapse when someone leaves or something fails. This is like being deeply asleep at the core and fully awake at the surface. The body moves, the life happens, but the witness remains untouched and present. As long as you only borrow light from outside, you will stay dependent on outside. You can keep collecting quotes, opinions, teachers, videos, yes, including this one, and still never actually look at your own fear with your own eyes. Real change begins the day you stop outsourcing your seeing. When you sit down just once and say, no distraction, no story. Let me actually feel this ache, this jealousy, this insecurity, this greed without escaping. It hurts for a while. It burns. But slowly, the same mind that used to run becomes the mind that starts to shine. Not because someone lit it from outside, but because you stopped running long enough for your own clarity to flame up. Inside you, there is someone who is tired of compromise. Tired of almost honest conversations, almost true lives, almost awake days. This one inside you would rather cry in truth than smile in self-deception. It would rather face the real problem than keep polishing the mask. That is the inner lover of truth. Every time you feel dissatisfied with shallow comfort, even when life looks fine on paper, that lover is talking. Every time you say, I want what is real, even if it costs me some of my illusions, that lover grows stronger. Ignore it long enough, and you will feel half dead. Listen to it, and your life will start to rearrange itself around what actually matters. Look back at your life and notice something. The things you clung to hardest are the ones that suffocated you first. The love you tried to possess turned into drama. The money you were too afraid to use lost its meaning. The opportunities you hid from others shrank your own world. Whatever doesn't move dies. Wealth, love, inside they're all like blood. They must circulate. When you start giving, your attention, your understanding, your resources, the same movement that blesses others starts to free you from inside. The tragedy is not losing by giving. The real tragedy is losing because you never gave. There is a different way to relate. Imagine two people standing on their own feet, not leaning on each other like crutches. They speak honestly, they listen fully, they give and receive energy in both directions. Every meeting leaves both a little clearer, a little freer, a little more themselves. That is sacred exchange. Now imagine the usual way. One hungry person chewing on another hungry person. Two egos using each other to forget themselves. On paper, they might call it friendship, partnership, even marriage. In reality, it is just consumption. You already know the difference because you felt both. There will be people in your life who speak words that hit you like truth. There will be books, videos, moments that shake you awake. Honor them, but don't worship them. See them as mirrors in which your own clarity becomes visible for a moment. The real teacher is not a face on a screen. The real teacher is that movement in you that cannot rest in lies anymore. You are not here to become a follower. You are here to become honest. If somewhere in this video, something hurt a little but felt right, if a scene from your own life flashed before your eyes, if you suddenly saw your career, your relationships, your habits inside that burning theater, then this channel is meant to stay in your life. Etherlens is not here to entertain your ego. It is here to put a clear lens in front of your own mind again and again until you start seeing for yourself. So here's the deal. If you want more comfort, close this and keep scrolling. But if you want that quiet, stubborn part of you, the lover of truth, to grow stronger, then don't walk away half awake. Click subscribe now, not as support for a creator, but as a commitment to yourself. A promise that at least in one corner of your screen, there will always be content that refuses to sedate you and insists on waking you up. This is Etherlens. Stay if you're ready to stop losing yourself by never really giving yourself to what is real.